Hello everyone, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Duel Links video. I am actually here to do ranked rush duels, because I don't have a playlist for that yet. So if I want to upload anything tonight, this is an easy way to actually get an upload out. And now you may be wondering why I'm using this excuse instead of going back to speed duels. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to upload some videos for that format. So, while I'm trying to decide if I'm willing to go there, rush duels are a safer bet for what I'm going to discuss here. I've already discussed it, but tonight, I felt it was especially important to stress that I do not feel like I am treated like a human being. I am treated like a statistic. A number. I am not human. I am currency. I am a product. I am not a human. I am a human only in physical appearance alone. Apart from that, all I'm for is to give you money. And now this is how things work, apparently. I don't mean that I have ceased to be human entirely, because that would be kind of stupid. Who's going to argue that? Who would take me seriously? I wouldn't even take myself seriously. Because even if you factor in my beliefs and all that, those beliefs still factor in the fact that I'm still very much a human. I just don't feel like I'm treated like one because there are many things I have to abide by that normal human beings don't. I am considered disabled by Social Security, and they do not give me enough to actually support myself. And they want me to lower my quality of life to humiliating levels, or I do not qualify for benefits. And I do realize there are other welfare systems out there, as in other options, and there are probably other things I can do besides just getting Social Security. But the problem is, if I want a bit of extra money so I can survive, I have to bend my morals. And bending those morals is not something you want on the internet. Even if you are doing it because you have to survive, and you know that you have to survive, but you simply cannot do that as long as the system is the way it is. And the system is the way that it is. I cannot stop the system from being what it is. And because of that, there are certain things I may have to compromise on in the future if I want to survive, which I don't like. I would rather follow the law to the letter and not have to go underground or anything, just because Social Security won't treat me like a human being. In fact, let me really strongly emphasize exactly why this mindset exists. Why am I acting like I'm not treated like a human? I do not have the amount of money on a monthly basis as someone that is living in poverty. Someone living in poverty probably gets some level of welfare assistance. Living in poverty doesn't mean you have no welfare assistance at all. It just means you probably at least have a job that pays you. Does it pay you well? Well, obviously not, or you wouldn't be living in poverty. But the point I am here to make is I am considered lesser than someone living in poverty. I am not even considered a basic human being that deserves to live a good, decent life. To other people, that is the government and Social Security, I do not deserve a good life until I am able to work. And that does damage to me on a level that I cannot even begin to explain. Simply because you don't really think about it. If you have a job, then you don't think about the way that people on Social Security or social disability income, whatever, you don't think about how those people are treated. because you have a job and you're busting your ass every day just trying to make ends meet. But the thing about being part of the average population is the average population size should still be living comfortably. They may not have a lot of money, but they should be able to fall back on something if there is an emergency. One single crisis, like a health issue, shouldn't put you into poverty or debt or into debt or anything like that. You shouldn't be fearing for your life if you suddenly develop cancer, or actually, that's a bad example. You should probably fear for your life if you got cancer, because you might not. Why did I come up with that example? That is not a good example for what I'm trying to say. Give me a second. You don't want to get into a car accident and not be able to cover the hospital bills. You don't want to worry that because of any number of things, that you will no longer be able to afford food on the table. People in other countries may take their affordable healthcare system for granted, but there are probably things in those countries that suck that Americans take for granted. But that's beside the point here, because I live in a country where the healthcare system is just not affordable. And this is why I may have to compromise on some standards going forward, because I cannot afford to actually comply entirely to the letter if I want to survive in life. And I shouldn't say this on the internet, but I am being open about this because I don't want to do things like that. It's just I'm being put into a position where in order to live, I have to basically lower my quality of life. And if I want to hire one, I have to basically make sure Social Security doesn't find out about it. And putting this on YouTube probably isn't going to help with that, but there is a big difference between poverty and you barely even qualify to be considered being in poverty. The disabled are being told they are not good enough to be poor. They are lesser than that. They are disposable unless they can get to a point where they are able to earn money. This is something that they are sending me as a message. I have major depression. I already feel like shit as it is. And I want to do something so I don't have to go behind anyone's back. But right now, I have not found a way to properly keep my morals and not have to bend them. I still have to bend them with the way things are now. And I don't like that, but things are what they are. And well, I do indeed have to compromise on things. It's just, I may not have to in the future. And I do want to be upfront here. I don't like what YouTube is doing because it just continues to remind me that I don't have the money that even the average person does. And at the end of the week, what does the average person have? They are still one disaster away from having nothing. That is how bad things have gotten. And YouTube is going to act like that isn't the case. YouTube, you really need to get your eyes checked. Because I know you want money. And I know you want a lot of it. But I don't think the United States is the only country where people are trying to survive. And they're barely making it. We're still trying to recover from a global pandemic. YouTube, we are recovering from a global pandemic. Lives were lost in this global pandemic. Let's not argue. And you want to profit. That is more important to you than making sure you can actually earn the money you want. You would rather have policies like ad blockers are against your terms of service and aggressively attack you want to attack the people that used your website with your corrupt policies, really throw it in their face at a time when they can barely afford it, simply because you want more money and your revenue is going down. I do understand you mean money, but again, lower the price of YouTube Premium. Lower the price of YouTube Premium and you will get more revenue. I have listened to people on this platform say that they would be willing to comply with your regulations if the price was not so high. And again, you are asking people to pay over $140 a year if they want to subscribe to YouTube Premium. You are asking them to do something that is unreasonable. YouTube, this is a huge loss for minors that can't afford to even bother with YouTube Premium. They can't afford to use your service because they don't have money. And if they do have money, how much do they have? Because allowance doesn't give children much. And if someone does have the amount of money that they can use to afford YouTube Premium, why would they want to use it on your website after you've demonstrated that you don't care about their technological devices? You don't care about the well-being of their devices because you want money. And ad blockers cut you off from that. It cuts you off from profit, so it's against your terms of service. But you are negatively impacting your revenue by doing things like this. You're being way too aggressive. And I know that this video isn't going to change anything about what YouTube is doing with its policies. I know that they're going to stick to what they say is against their terms of service. And there's nothing I can do about that at the end of the day. However, I will absolutely be honest. I do think that there is a right way to say, give us money, and a wrong way. And YouTube, as a global giant, you're picking the wrong way because you know you can get away with it. However, the entire planet is not the United States. There may be cultures that are willing to be like, we don't give a shit. I don't know what those cultures are. I don't know those countries. I don't live in them. I live in the United States, the land of entitlement and Karens. Although maybe there are Karens in other countries, but I don't live there. That's my point. This is really rather ridiculous in my book. Obviously, YouTube is just, it doesn't care about me. I know it doesn't care about anything that I have to say. But I feel like it should care about something. And it's obviously demonstrating that its money is more highly valued than human lives. Which is why I take issue with what it's doing. Because it's just another thing to shove down my throat. That I am lesser because I cannot afford the simple price of $13 a month. And there are people with jobs that probably can't either. but I am considered disabled, and I don't even reach the poverty line. Also, by the way, there is a marriage penalty. I know, I'm not going to get married anytime soon, as far as anyone is concerned. But if I was, hypothetically, going to get married, there would be a marriage penalty. That I would potentially be ineligible for Social Security benefits if I were to get married. Because damn, I'm getting married? My partner can compensate for everything that's wrong with me. No. No, my partner cannot. Not even in this random hypothetical. And now, if I did somehow find someone that was rich, and they wanted me, I would be very, very suspicious. Because to me, that would be like, you're willing to date me. You're willing to marry me. You're willing to marry a person that is disabled. What are you hiding, and what the hell? And I mean it. There is something to be hidden if someone is willing to actually marry me when they know that I am disabled. Seriously, I do not trust anyone that says they are willing to marry me, knowing the marriage penalty, and even being able to afford it. So if someone was rich and they were okay with marrying me, I would be like, this guy's probably a sexist bastard. And he probably is not someone I should be married to. So, just saying. There is actually a good chance that I could potentially... There might be a future in which I can live without Social Security. I'm hoping that such a future exists, but in order to comply with such a future, there would have to be some accommodations that allow me to live independently as an adult without needing to rely so much on other people. Although, to be honest, I don't really rely on other people that much. It's just when I need to go somewhere or I need shelter. I do need some extra support here. But that doesn't mean I'm useless, and that doesn't mean that I'm bedridden. Social Security wants me to basically take away everything just to get my basic necessities met. Just to get those needs met, Social Security wants me to lower my quality of life. And under YouTube's policies, I am reminded exactly of that. Alright. That is not a good system, YouTube. If you think that ad blockers are losing you revenue, why not think about it? Why are you losing revenue because of your ads? What's going on? Maybe your ads suck. Maybe you should review why you're taking ads from people that aren't willing to actually benefit your platform. You want your platform to be full of toxic shit? That's what your platform is going to become. You want people to pay for your shit? There may be some people here and there that bend for you, but I will not bend over for you. I am not that kind of person. I am a human being. I may not always be treated as such, but I am. And whether or not someone's going to acknowledge that when trying to make a profit, obviously we know that's not going to happen. But what is going to happen, and what I just do not give a shit. I don't give a shit. YouTube, I know what I've experienced, and I know how I feel. But that doesn't mean I'm giving into that. I'm not giving in to these messages that I am being sent just because I know that I am being sent those messages. I am being sent toxic messages. Messages that will hurt me and my overall well-being if I continue to believe that they are valid. If I continue to believe that I should sacrifice my quality of life simply because I am not able to work, I'm not going to get anywhere. I will sit here and I will rot. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to accept this is my lot in life. I don't want to accept that. That is why I do want to one day be off Social Security. But YouTube, I don't want to stop being on this platform just because the people running it are fucking toxic. And yes, I am going to say toxic, because they are attacking people for using ad blockers and saying that's against our terms of service, which obviously I have no control over that. And they do get to decide that that is in fact the case. YouTube does have the right to say that ad blockers are against their terms of service, and people that are not willing to comply are banned or unable to watch videos. They have the right to do that. And users on the platform also have a right to do their best to get around that if they want to continue watching videos from their favorite creators. This is not a matter of who's better and who isn't. This is just the way the internet works. People on the internet find workarounds, and people that want money find new ways to force money down people's throats. I do realize that things aren't that great in the world right now. But that is why I don't appreciate these crackdowns right now. I'm not going to fall for it. YouTube, listen. I can't afford to purchase premium. I do not want your ads. I cannot afford a new laptop if one of your ads gives me a virus. I'm not stupid. I make misplays. There's a difference between misplays and utter stupidity. I call out my own misplays. And I seriously, that is just how obvious I am. I'm not going to say that what I did was intelligent. I will say it was stupid. I have displayed this evidence countless times. And I will do it again. But I think it is rather strange. Why would you think that anyone on your platform should be forced into something that they cannot afford? Well, you know that you are not easily replaceable, so you know you can get away with this. But for how long? Eventually, something is going to break. And I ranked up. Guys, I have proven that this video has meaning. It has purpose for existence. I managed to rank up, even though most of this video is just me losing over and over. Guys, I'm going to wrap this video up, and I'm going to upload it, and obviously, screw you, Gaha. Screw you and your policies on Rush Duels. Anyway, that wraps things up for this video, officially. I am done here.